Perfect mess is my perfect mess. Perfect mess is my perfect mess.
What is going on, everybody? It's the Perfect Mess Podcast. I am your host, Ray Molina, and I want to welcome you to episode 8. Today, I want to take you back a little bit, uh, probably right after my senior year in high school. I'm going to tell you a little story. So, today is going to be story time. So, I'm going to try and keep it short, but I think it's pretty important for anybody who may be struggling with a relationship, whether you are a man or a woman, and maybe you are still in love with somebody who doesn't necessarily love you anymore, and that can be a very very hard thing to go through. Um, and I'm gonna be open, like I always am, with you guys, and give you my story with a certain situation like that, and something that happened to me when I had just turned 19, and it pretty much set the tone for my life moving forward. And it was something that I needed to hear from somebody that I care about and hold close to my heart. Uh, that gave me my, I don't know, the advice that I needed for the rest of my life with regards to when somebody doesn't love you anymore, doesn't care for you anymore, but you keep on trying and you keep pushing and you keep going out there and you keep putting yourself in harm's way, to be honest. Because let's be honest, if you keep on pushing and they're not giving back, you're just putting yourself in harm's way. You're setting yourself up uh, for disaster, for a lot of pain. So let's take it back. Um, like I said, this was about when I was 19 years old. I was dating. I was dating a girl from, let's see, probably the last part of my a good part of my senior year in high school. She actually went to my senior prom with me. And by the way, we are friends to this day. I always want to make that very clear. So I don't want anybody listening to this podcast saying, "Man, you're bringing up old stuff. You know, why you dragging me, or you're still angry." No, me and this person are friends to this day. Um, as a matter of fact, she's doing extremely well. I believe she's doing acting, and she's been in some commercials and whatnot. She's been doing really well for herself. And we actually have a son that's has the same name, Jaden. So her name was Rose, and we dated for a while. We met. How did we meet? We met at a party. I used to go to a lot of house parties back in the day, and the warehouse parties that you had to know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody that could get you in, and that's how we met. We met at a party, at an underground party, um, and man, we hit it off. Drop dead gorgeous. Uh, just yeah, I was. Hey man, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I was sprung. I was very sprung. And I think at a time at for a while we both were, but we were young, still partying, and kind of running with our own little group. She had her group of friends that were kind of wild partiers. I had my group of friends, and we were wild partiers. But I really liked her a lot. And like I said, we went to my senior ball together. Um, and then after my senior ball, everything kind of just changed. Um, I was a little bit older, but things just kind of changed. And I remember, you know, going to pick her up for breakfast the next day after my senior ball, and she wouldn't come out of the house. She said she wasn't she didn't shower and she didn't have her hair fixed up or anything, and she wouldn't come to the door. Um, and my buddy was with me, and he had his girl, and she knew her, and she was at the door like, "Yo, come outside. What are we doing? We're gonna go get breakfast." And uh, she just wouldn't come out. So I went back to the car, and my buddy's girl stayed, and she actually talked to her. Uh, as I got, I, as time went by, I realized that she probably had somebody there, uh, because there's just things that went on after everything that made me understand that there was other people involved besides me. Like I said, we were young, and we were kind of doing our party thing, and that's what it was. Um, so yeah, she didn't come out, and I was kind of bugged by that, and it was kind of frustrating. So, anyways, we went and had breakfast with a group of friends and whatever, and that was that. Fast forward to, you know, a series of, you know, calling her, uh, going out here and there, but not as much as we used to. But just really trying to figure out, yo, what's going on? How come we can't work it out? And it just didn't happen. For whatever reason, somebody else had her attention, and I came to find out that it was somebody who you know had a little bit more than me, so to say, and she admitted it, and I was I was hurt, because honestly, I mean, let's put it out there, I couldn't compete with this guy, man. This guy was much older than me. He was kind of established in a certain career, and here I am, fresh out of high school, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Not a whole lot of money, and it was just probably a more attractive option for her at the time. Um, and so it was tough for me to accept that, because I had heard rumors, and then they were confirmed. But moving forward, I would date still, but I still had this thing for her. I was heartbroken, and then one night, we had went to a party, um, at a buddy of mine's apartment, in San Jose, and she was there, and she was looking gorgeous, man. I hadn't seen her in a while, and you know, I talked to her a little bit, but she was kind of being standoffish, um, and she looked like maybe me talking to her was, to be blunt, cock blocking. Like I was blocking her from another opportunity, and I kind of caught on to that. And I'll be honest with you, I had been drinking, so I was in my feelings a bit. I wasn't angry. I was more like, "Yo, can we go outside? Can we talk? What's going on?" Super simp mode. Super super simp mode. Gosh, just telling the story makes me cringe, but it's important because, like I said, I want to share these things with you guys because I know there are people out there that are still through this right now, even at our age. If you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, even in your 50s, there's somebody that's still going through this right now because they still love somebody. They still care about this person, and they don't know how to let go, even though this person has walked. Um, so I was really hurt that she wouldn't give me time to talk, because I mean she was special to me. Like I said, you don't. At least for me, you don't just take anybody to your senior ball. I took her because she means something to me. Uh, and lo and behold, I walk away and I'm like upset. And my cousin is with me, my older cousin. He's kind of like a dad to me, my cousin Joe. And he's like, man, shake it off, bro. He's like, look at all these girls here, man. He's like, you can get any one of these girls, man. They all know you. Just go holler at one of them. And I was just in that mode where I'm like, nah, man, I ain't trying to do all that, man. I'm trying to see what's up with her. You know what I mean? And we go outside, and my cousin's talking to me, trying to just be cool with me. And a buddy of mine, and now this is what I'm about to tell you is the example of a great friend, um, an amazing example of a great friend. Um, and I wish I could have been this type of friend my entire life. And at times I was when I was younger, and at times I made bad decisions, you know. But this particular person uh, was a very, very good friend of mine. And he came outside and he says, "Yo, um, I wanted to I wanted to give this to you." And I said, "What's that?" And he hands me a phone number. And mind you, this is back in the day where there was no cell phone. We didn't have cell phones. We had pagers. And he gives me a phone number that's on a piece of paper, and it was her phone number. She had tried to holler at him, and she said, "Call me." And she gave him her phone number, knowing full well that this is one of my good friends. Um, and I looked at him, and like I said, I had been drinking, and I just kept staring at him, and I was like, "Wait, did you ask for this, or did she?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "She was talking to me, and then she just offered it to me." And I immediately in my head was like, I can't do that to my boy. That's my boy, and I know he still has feelings for her. So I wanted to give it to you, but I wanted to give it to you to show you that she's not the one for you, bro. Like, she don't love you no more. Like, and I'm not telling you to hurt you, but I'm telling you, like, she's just not the one for you anymore. And I remember just being in shock because I was there. And it'd be different if I wasn't there and I had heard about this, but I was actually there and this happened. And my boy gave me a hug. He's like, "Hey, man, just shake it off, bro." He's like, "Don't even trip." He's like, "I actually got a lady, you know." He's like, "So I don't really be messing around, bro. Like, I got a woman, and that's why I just wanted to come out here and share that with you." Man, I walked around the side of that apartment and I was just hurt. I was hurt, man. But here's the thing: as I'm kind of just down and I'm hurt, and I'm like, I can't believe she did that. My cousin's like, "Yo, snap out of it. She don't love you no more, bro. Like, he did you a favor by telling you. That's all you needed. He did you a favor." And I'm like, "No, but you don't understand, dude. I love her." Like, and my cousin's like, "How could you love somebody that doesn't love you anymore? It's blatant. You're here at the party. You said hi. You talked. She seen you, and you walked outside, and she still didn't holler at just some guy. It was a guy that's our friend, and still gave him her number. What more do you need?" And I started to cry. I'm like, "You don't understand." The minute I said that, my cousin grabbed me by my shoulders and said, I'm not going to cuss, but said, "What the F is wrong with you? Do you hear what I'm telling you?" And he slapped me. I'm talking about slapped me so hard because I had been tearing up. Slapped me so hard and said, "Bro, stop going out like that." And I go, "Why did you slap me?" And he's like, "Because you're my cousin. I ain't going to let you get played like that. And you're better than that. I know you are. You have to face it. She don't love you anymore. She's not yours." And I looked at him, and I literally, it was like I sobered up. I looked at him and I said, "You're right. You're right. You are 100% correct." And I'm not kidding you. It was like that slap, man. It's like it sobered me up. And he said, "Look, forget about it. But let's go back in there, ignore her. If she comes up to talk to you, don't talk to her. Just tell her you're trying to have a good time. And don't get into no arguments. Don't bring nothing up. Just leave it alone. And I did that. And I ended up having a good time. I stayed away. And that was it for me. I think probably a year or so later, we did hook up one or two more times, but I had control of my emotions when that had happened. So it wasn't a big deal to me. It was more of like, it is what it is, and I'm out. Um, but the purpose of me telling you this story is we get in situations where we are so in love with somebody or we care about somebody so much that we lose who we are. We forget who we are. And everything we're doing is about them. Our waking moment, when we wake up, we text them, we call them. Um, Throughout the day, you're emailing, you're texting, you're calling, you're thinking about them. Um, when it gets to nighttime, you're thinking, man, I should ask this person to go out and eat. We should go eat something. We should go to a movie. Um, you're constantly trying to plan the next move. Hey, we should go to a game. We should do this. We should do that. Um, Man, she had talked about something that she wanted. Maybe I should get that for her and just kind of surprise her or surprise him. And I have to say that because this goes for men and women. It goes for both. And obviously, I'm a man, and I'm talking from my perspective, but there are a lot of women that go through this as well. It's even. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's a woman." Like women do that. That's not true. Men do it too. It's just we're not supposed to admit that. We're not supposed to wear that on our sleeve. We're not supposed to act like we got hurt. We're not supposed to act like we're in our feelings. We're not supposed to act like we love somebody or care somebody who doesn't care or love us back. We're not supposed to show that because then it's like we're weak. And we're not weak. You're not weak. You're in love. You care about somebody. You've opened up and given them a part of you. And when you don't get anything in return or it stops, it's hard to let go. It is. And that really, really sucks, man. But I got to tell you, it is very important for you to understand when someone is giving you the signs that they don't want to be with you anymore. They don't want you around. They're not interested anymore. They don't love you. They don't respond to your text messages. They don't respond to your emails. They don't call you back. You have to respect yourself. And you have to leave it alone. You are doing yourself no favors when you continually put yourself out there and continuously put yourself on those train tracks only to get ran over by that train again and again and again. You have to love yourself and respect yourself more than that. Someone is telling you, I'm not interested. I don't want to be with you. I don't love you no more. I don't care about you that way. It hurts. It does. It hurts. But you know what hurts even more? What hurts more is when you forget about who you are. You forget about how valuable you are. And you forget that there is someone out there who's going to love you and want you for who you are. And it's no longer that person. A big part of the reason why we stick around and why we don't leave when these things happen is because we're afraid to be alone. And I talked about that in a podcast a couple of episodes back called Alone, Not Lonely. I highly suggest you guys go back and listen to that episode. But we're afraid to be alone. A lot of us are afraid to be alone. So we continuously torture ourselves trying to get back with somebody who doesn't love us anymore. We have to step away no matter how hard it is. You have to step back and say, I can't do it no more. I won't do it. And a couple of things are going to happen. And I'm talking from experience. One, you're going to walk away and that person is going to realize how special you were and that they actually did want you in their life and they messed up and made a bad decision and they're going to call you and message you or try to get back with you at some point or have the conversation of how do we fix this because I messed up. Okay? Or two, after some time, you're going to realize I don't need that person. I'm okay. I'm all I need. I'm happy with myself. I know who I am and I know what I bring to the table. And if that person does have an epiphany and comes back, guess what? You're gone. You've already moved on. Even if you're not with I'm not talking about jumping from that into another relationship because that's bad too. I'm saying when I say moving on, you've already moved on to I'm past that. I'm on to the next chapter of my life. Even if it's not with somebody else, it's just I'm on to the next chapter of my life. Whatever that is, maybe it's you going back to school and learning something. Maybe it's you got on your health and fitness trip where you're starting to get in shape and you're just kind of locked in. Maybe you've picked up a new hobby that you've fallen in love with. Maybe you're taking trips by yourself or with your girlfriends or with your guy friends and you're rekindling with your friends and remembering how good it feels to be around people who actually love you. You have to give yourself the chance to do that. It is very hard to accept when somebody doesn't want us anymore, when someone doesn't love us anymore, because we go through this whole cycle of, man, what is it? I need closure. I want closure. What did I do wrong? So that becomes the next thing. Well, can you at least tell me what I did wrong? So I know no, you don't need that. You got to stop questioning. What did I do wrong? Did I not show enough love? Did I do too much? Did I come on too strong? Was I not there enough? Was I ignoring you at some point and then you're giving me payback or what was it? Did I not make enough money? Stop. Because even if this person tells you something, you're going to go and try and change that for them. And guess what? They're not around anymore. They're not. So why are you trying to fix something that this person wasn't happy with? They are no longer there. You have to be happy with you. You have to find your happiness within yourself. You got to be okay in your own skin. You have to be able to look in the mirror and say, I love me. I like who I am. I like that I wear my heart on my sleeve. I like that when I love somebody, I tell them I love them. And I like when I tell somebody I'm hurt, I just say I'm hurt. I don't hide it. And I like when I'm angry, I tell somebody why I'm angry. You have to love yourself. That's what this is all about. Because if you love yourself, you don't allow yourself to be disrespected. You don't allow yourself to be put on the back burner. For what? Nobody deserves to be put on the back burner. Because you know what? There is somebody out there who will take you and put you on the front burner in their life. Someone who will actually care about you. Someone who, for some reason, their life is missing this one piece, and they meet you, and they insert you, and everything in their life makes sense. Everybody has that person. And you know when you find that person? For all of you who just said when you start looking for that person, you are completely wrong. I hope none of you said that because no, you don't find that person when you start actually looking for that person. You find that person when you're just doing you, when you're happy doing you. That's the truth. That is the 100% truth. You find that person when you become happy with who you are and you're doing you and you're taking care of you. My situation right now is this. I have lost nearly 55 pounds over the last 3 years. I have gotten myself back in church. I have picked up so many new hobbies. I read like a machine now. I love reading. Matter of fact, this is my new book. For those of you on YouTube who are watching, you can see it. It's a 75 hard book. Boom. You can see the t-shirt. I picked that up. This just dropped. This is my new book. Andy Frisalis. Shout out to you. I love reading. I hike. Seriously, I hike almost every Sunday. So a new hike every Sunday. I bike. I don't say no to too many things. So I'm just doing me. And you know what's going to happen? And that person may be watching me. And I'm doing the podcast. Launch the podcast. I'm launching another business after COVID goes away so I can actually do the paperwork. But I'm doing me. I'm doing all the things that make me happy, all the things that make me feel good. And you know what? Somebody right now is probably watching, maybe trying to figure out, how do I approach this person? Or maybe they're not. Maybe that person hasn't crossed my path yet. But you know what? I'm not looking. I'm just doing me. And that right person is going to come. She will. And you have to understand that's the same case for you. But you have to get out of your feelings. Sitting home, being depressed, sitting home, binge eating, binge watching shows, not taking care of yourself. Remember I said this. Your brain goes wherever your body goes. If your body is feeling unhealthy, it's feeling sluggish, it's feeling lethargic, your brain goes right where your body goes. I promise you that it's all connected. So get active, do something, do things. Find a hobby, stay active, and work on bettering you. And I promise you, when you start feeling good about yourself, ladies, you're going to get to the point where, hey, I don't need a man. I would love a good man, a great man, but I don't need a man. I met a lot of ladies like that. Fellas, you're going to get to a point where I don't need a woman. I do want a woman, but I want the right woman. And I'm willing to work on myself until that happens. Everybody has somebody out there for them. Just got to have patience, and you got to just stay focused on the task at hand, and that is just trying to become the best you can every day. Every day. Ladies, I know some of you feel like, who's going to want me? I've got kids, yada, yada, yada. Believe it or not, a lot of us men love women who have kids. Someone like me, I have kids. It would be very hard for me to date someone who doesn't have kids because they just wouldn't understand what it's like to be a father or to be a parent and understand that life. Um, so that's going to be very important for me. But ladies, if you have children, there are plenty of men out there who are looking for a woman who has children. So they can understand that lifestyle and they can bond on that premise. Fellas, maybe a lot of us, our biggest thing is maybe we're out of shape or we don't make a whole lot of money. There are plenty of women out there that aren't going to look at your bankroll. They're just going to look at how you make them feel. If you make them happy, if you make them laugh, if you nurture them, comfort them, if you protect them, and if you're always there, and if you work hard. There is, there are women out there who are happy with that. And for the fellas that got money, I think we all know there's women out there for that too. But you fellas got to be careful because some of the women that are looking for you are not necessarily the right women. I know you know that. Ladies, you too, man. A lot of ladies, man. It's 2020, man. A lot of ladies are making a lot more money than the fellas these days. So I got to give you shots out. Um, but at the end of the day, man, do yourself a favor. If you are in that situation right now where you love somebody or you care about somebody or this is somebody that you really wanted things to work out with and it's just not happening and they're being very standoffish and basically giving you every sign that they don't want you, do yourself a favor and walk away. Don't be bitter. Don't send an angry last text. Don't get on the phone or show up at this person's house and say a bunch of mean stuff or whatever it is. Just be smooth about it. Be a grown up about it and say, it's over. I accept it. And deal with that as you may. Some of you may say, I got to block the phone number. I got to block them on my social media. I get it. I know. Trust me, there are people blocked on my social media right now. Not because I don't like them, because I just need to not have contact with them. So I get it. So if that's you, I agree. I understand that completely. Do what you need to do in order to get over that situation. But don't go out bitter, man. Don't go out angry. All right? And love yourself. Okay? Love yourself. I promise you, there is someone out there for you. And if you're in a situation that I just talked about, that is not the person. It isn't. Find somebody who cares about you. And you'll know because it's not going to be hard. It's not going to feel like work. It's going to feel so good. You're going to feel comfortable. You're going to feel like, man, this is what it feels like, huh? All right? You owe yourself that much respect. I know I do. It's taken me 3 years and some change to finally tell myself I deserve that. And I'm okay with that. I deserve it. You know why? Because I've put in the work. I've made the changes in my life, and I deserve it. But I'm in no rush. I've been single for just over 3 years now. And I'm okay with it. I'm fine. Because I'm a father. I have 2 kids. And my next move in a relationship is a very important one because I'm not single without children anymore. I have kids. So it's very important that I make the right decisions, and whoever I decide to share my life with, I'm not just sharing my life. I'm sharing my life and my children's life. And that's a very important detail. So fathers, don't bring these chicks that you know you shouldn't be bringing home around your kids. All right, don't do it. And ladies, There's a lot of guys out there that you should not be bringing around your kids. They don't need to meet everybody. They don't. All right? So love yourself. Be smart about who you get involved with next, and understand if you are currently in the situation that I just talked about, respect yourself and walk away. You deserve it. And don't be bitter. Okay? Walk away and start putting things back together for yourself and moving forward with your life. Okay? You deserve it. That's all I have. I wanted to keep it short today. I hope you guys have a very blessed day, evening, whenever you're listening. I love you guys. I'm going to continue to share my life with you and be very open about it. And I hope this helps some of you guys who maybe were in this situation right now. This came up because I have somebody in my life who's going through this, and it just reminded me of my cousin, again, slapping the piss out of me when I was 19 to get through to me. And that slap changed me forever. So hopefully you don't need to be slapped like I did. Because if you do, I'm going to pray for you, because that slap was no joke. So ladies, I hope one of your girls don't need to slap you and tell you, come on, girl. And I hope, fellas, I hope one of your boys, because my cousin was 6'1" and yoked. So that slap hurt. So I hope you don't have one of them friends that needs to do that to you, because it ain't no joke. But if it has to happen, it has to happen. All right? So ladies, fellas, if you're in that situation, respect yourself, get out of it, love yourself, and start working on you. And I promise you, that person that you want in your life will come. Not from you looking. They will just show up. Work on yourself, love yourself, and take care of everything around you. All right? Especially during these times. These times are crazy, man. These times are crazy. All right? I love you. God bless. This has been The Perfect Mess, episode 8. I'm your host, Ray Molina. Again, you can follow us on Instagram at The Perfect Mess Pod. My personal Instagram is It's Player Ray, and that's RAE. That's my personal Instagram. And we are on Facebook, The Perfect Mess Pod. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, YouTube. Hit us on YouTube. Do me a favor. Share this. If you like it, share it. If you think someone needs to hear this, share it. Do a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave a thumbs up, a recommendation. But please, if you like this or you like any of the episodes, share it. We don't ask for any money, really, so I just ask you guys to share it. And hopefully it'll grow. All right? You guys take care. Again, I'm Ray Molina. This has been The Perfect Mess Podcast. Peace.
Perfect mess is my perfect mess. Perfect mess.